All right. So, this is the episode one of my podcast, Show Up with Salwa, where we inspire women to get up, dress up, and show up. And my first ever guest on this podcast is my friend Sonali. How are
Thank
you
you so
doing?
much for having me. I'm very excited.
Thank you so much for coming. Now, the reason Sonali and I connected is because she is a very, very big fashion aficionado, just like me. We love dressing up and trying on different things, mixing and matching outfits. And the premise of my podcast is to inspire women to pretty much change their mindset by just doing little changes. And changing your appearance is a big part of changing your mindset.
Absolutely.
So I want to talk to you about your background. What got you interested in fashion and when you came to Dubai?
Also, I'm actually from India. I'm born and brought up in Bombay. I've always had an interest towards fashion, although I graduated in business and commerce. Um, I've come from a background where I've always seen my grandmother and my mother and all the ladies of the house uh, start their day by grooming themselves. So,
Nice.
whether it's draping a beautiful sari, getting their hair in order, wearing their basic jewelry, their watch, and then they come set for the day. And it could just mean doing your general chores at home or not really having a schedule for the day, but they are set for the day. And I think uh, my my interest in grooming, in fashion, in putting my looks together started from there.
That's amazing. Now, do you agree with my thoughts on how dressing up can completely change your mood for the day?
Absolutely. I think the brain receives signals, right? And when you start your day by dressing up and grooming yourself, you're really sending a message that it's a new day, uh, and it's a great day. And I think that itself motivates you to just be yourself and have fun.
That's amazing. Now, what about your fashion background? Did you have any education in fashion styling?
Yes. So, after I graduated, then I headed to London. I've always loved British fashion. I think it's quirky, it's fun. I love the color. I just love the whole uh, way they portray fashion. So, I did my diploma there from London School of Fashion.
That's
And
amazing.
I did a couple of courses at Central St. Martin's. After which I came back and I just sort of went straight into getting practical experience. I worked in some of the export houses to understand, how production is done. I worked under some designers to just get a hang of how I could start my label.
That's amazing. And what year did you start your label?
So I started it in 2003,
That's great.
and I was one of the youngest participants of the India Fashion Week at that
Oh, that's
point.
amazing.
So
Wow.
that was great. That was a great experience for me, a great start for my career,
Yeah.
and that's where it all began.
And where did you get your inspiration from when you created pieces for your label?
So as I said, I'm very very inspired by British fashion. Apart from that, of course, growing up in India, there's always color around you.
Yes, so
There's
much.
beautiful embroidery. There's so many different uh, states, and they have their own look. So I
Correct.
think that whole mix and match and that whole thing really inspires me to put the looks together or design a collection.
That's amazing. And did you feel like when you lived in India versus when you lived in the UK and then now you're in Dubai, do you find any commonalities in the way people dress?
I think Dubai has very high standard of dressing
Yeah,
for
I feel
sure.
that.
So, but I think at least what I see common between India and Dubai uh, is that people are very they enjoy grooming themselves, they
Mm,
enjoy dressing up, they enjoy
correct.
putting themselves together, and I think it's purely for themselves.
I love that about Dubai, right? Because I guess I've never lived in Pakistan or India to know the commonalities, but living in Canada, I noticed that there was barely any effort. When people were in the mall, it was always sweatpants. So when I came to Dubai, I was like very happy. Nobody questioned me when I was dressed up at the mall or just running errands. So that was the best part about being in this city. I felt like, okay, people actually want to put an effort in grooming, looking good, even if they're running errands, picking up groceries, going to the mall. And that's the part I absolutely love about this city, amongst many more things.
Absolutely.
Do you think that your fashion style evolved after you came to Dubai?
Mm, I would think so. You know, I think because it's such a global environment here, it just you're just walking on the street and you look at people and you get inspired every day because everyone has a different outlook to life. They have a different way of dressing up, and you just see such amazing looks together. I think I'm learning every day.
Yeah.
As I said, whether I'm sitting at a cafe or I'm just walking to a mall or I'm out for the day at work, I think you're just picking up so many fantastic looks.
Yeah. Would you have like another label in mind inspired by Dubai fashion?
Not really, but
Maybe I'll convince you.
maybe. But some of my otherwise favorite labels have always been I love Giorgio Armani, Stella
Love.
McCartney, Victoria Beckham.
Love
These are
Victoria Beckham.
these are designers I've always looked up to.
Do you feel like makeup is a big part of putting yourselves together, putting a look together?
I would think grooming is
Yeah.
right. It's one of those non-negotiable things, really. So,
Yeah.
not necessarily only makeup, but yeah, I mean, making sure that your hair is well done.
Yeah.
You have your basic makeup on. You have a basic jewelry on. Just uh, general grooming. I think it's just
Yeah.
non-negotiable.
And can you think of any time in your life, examples in your life where you felt like you were probably getting distracted by the stress and then you completely were able to change your mindset by remembering, like, hey, I can completely change my mood by dressing up?
Absolutely. As I said, I mean, my inspiration where that is concerned is my mother,
That's
because
amazing.
till date, every morning I see her grooming herself, putting on a beautiful sari, and starting her day, irrespective of what is scheduled for her. So I think I'm learning from that still.
Yeah,
And I think it's really important to be comfortable and need to understand that perfection is not necessarily needed every day,
it's not the goal.
right? Um, you just need to feel good about yourself.
That's right. What are some things women can do today, like starting right now, in order to enhance their ability to dress up? Because a lot of women, there is an aspect of laziness, when it comes to putting outfits together. So, what is a tip that you can give them?
Keep a couple of looks ready hanging in your closet.
Right. So,
Have
like
some,
matching.
yes,
Hmm.
have a couple of default looks, that looks really good on you or you feel comfortable wearing it. It makes you happy.
Yeah,
So I think that's a great tip. It's easy to just take that look out, put it on, and maybe just change it a little, add a new accessory, or maybe
I love
uh,
that.
team it up with a different color shoe, anything like that. So I think that's a great way to start.
I really like that. Like, I do that because I have some pairings where if I wear heels, it's a different look. If I wear flats, it's a different look.
Correct.
And even today, I wore white and white with a red blazer on top, thinking I can wear this blazer indoors, but if I'm outside and if it gets a little warmer, I can easily take off the blazer and it's still a
Perfect.
full look.
Perfect. Yeah.
Now, when it comes to closet organizing, a lot of people end up buying a lot of clothes. I am guilty of that, where I buy things and then I struggle later on to match them. So, any shopping tips for women to not have their closets overflowing with stuff that is just so mismatched?
I really, of course, I keep up with the trends, but I don't necessarily believe that every time something is trending, we should go and pick it up. So I think that's one thing you need to be uh, a little more controlled about when you go out shopping.
Yeah.
I think the best thing to do is just pick up classics, couple of great, rich, well stitched shirts go very well. Of course, denims, you have a couple of
Can't get
them,
enough.
a nice structured blazer,
Yeah.
you know. I think as long as your wardrobe has these key pieces and you know how to mix and match, that should work for you. Trends come and go. So I feel maybe control your urge there.
Yeah, that's a little hard. What about dresses? I feel like dresses are such an easy thing to style because it's just one item to put on.
Absolutely. You can, dress it up, dress it down. It's perfect. Uh, Dresses are fantastic. Again, I feel depends on really what your style is, but I would go for some solid colored dresses, which is again easy to accessorize.
Yeah.
Uh, it kind of suits your body or your mood at that point. So yeah, dresses are great.
So that's very similar to what you're wearing. You're wearing a solid colored dress. Tell us how you chose this today and how it relates to your own personal style.
Well, I do love dresses. I love solid colors,
Yeah,
and I was feeling happy, and
I
I
love
was
that.
excited
So
that
green
you're
makes you
having me
happy.
on your show. So
I'm
that's how the
happy.
green color came in picture. It's just
That's
my mood.
amazing. Yes, it's a beautiful color and it's so flattering. And I feel like dresses are the easiest way for people to start getting into putting outfits together. I think that pants, tops, blazers, etc. could be the next step. I think dresses are easier than putting cords for example, together.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it really depends on your style. I know I have clients who are just not very fond of dresses. So we really need to push that on them. But, at
Yeah.
the end of the day, really, it's not really about having the best clothes. It's about being comfortable in what you wear. And that shows.
So you said clients. Are you styling people right now?
I am also styling people. Yes, I do a
That's
lot of
amazing.
personal styling.
Okay.
So it's nice. It's nice to go there. Sometimes you have really anxious clients and you have to
Yeah.
calm them down. Uh,
Wow.
I think with the anxiety basically comes from what you see around you. Unfortunately, real, unreal,
Yeah.
AI.
Of
So we've always had
course.
social media. Now we have AI to deal with. So I think one needs to really understand that uh, it's really important to, at times, it's really important to be present rather than being perfect. So if you
I
get
like
to
that.
that, then I think the anxiety just sort of drops
That's
immediately.
amazing. Now, how do you help your clients understand or even come up with their personal style?
It's, I think it's first very important to understand what their life is all about.
Okay.
What their lifestyle is, what they like, um, what's their, whether it's social commitment or their work life, whatever, however it
Yeah.
fits in. We need to start, we need to take tiny steps, right? So I think if I just go to a client and say, oh my God, these are just fantastic pieces and you just need to get going, uh, it's not going to work because, I think slowly and steadily one has to grow where your style is concerned. You need to understand yourself better. Mm, and I think as you progress, you start getting, you're more open to trying out things you've never tried.
Yeah. I think getting comfortable in your own skin would help a lot before trying on clothes that make you uncomfortable. Because
Right.
I see a lot of celebrities, that they can pull off, in my mind, my perception is that they can pull off anything. They're just so sure of themselves that any silhouette, any type of material would look great on them. Is that fair? Or is that just my perception that I feel like they would look good at anything?
Not necessarily. I don't think so. But of course, they've reached a position where they're very confident.
Yeah.
They know, they understand style, they understand how to carry themselves, they understand their body very well. So I think because of all these things, they choose the right outfits that look stunning on them. But I don't necessarily think that everything will look good on
Everybody.
everybody.
All right. Now, this is slightly controversial. I feel like in the corporate world and even in the business world, when you are in an office environment, the way you present yourself has a lot to do with how much success you can receive in your career. Is that true, or is meritocracy more important? Your education or skills are more important than how presentable you look?
I think it's a package, right? I mean, when you dress up well, you feel confident, right? And if you feel confident, you present yourself better.
Mm.
So I think it's a bit of everything, but um, I wouldn't entirely give too much credit to dressing up. It's about, as you said, being comfortable in your skin. It's about it's sometimes it's really important. It's not, one needs to sort of unlearn that you have to be all put together perfectly
Yeah.
to really make an impression, or to get a seat.
That's very interesting because there's a lot of polarizing opinions in this, especially for women, right? Women do deal with a lot more scrutiny in the workplace because they do have a lot of other responsibilities. So, my perspective on that is that tiny little steps um, that women can take to make themselves more presentable will completely change the trajectory of their careers. And might be a little harsh that I'm saying that, but I have noticed in my own career how some really smart, intelligent, capable women lost out to promotions because their perception wasn't the same as some of their other counterparts that were not as intelligent, not as capable, but they dressed up or put on makeup more.
Well, sadly, it is the harsh reality. I think
Yeah,
that does happen to many, but I think it can only last, it's short lived because eventually it's
people
how
will know.
talented you are, right?
Yeah,
That is going to come through. But
absolutely.
of course, presenting yourself in a certain manner is a good start.
Yeah, so why lose out on opportunities if all you have to do is put a little bit of effort in
Absolutely.
putting yourselves together, and you also change your mood, feel more confident, you're ready to take on the world. Because when I, you know, get dressed in the morning, when I post my OOTDs on my Instagram, etc., I do feel ready to take on the world. And even on days where I feel like absolute garbage because a deal has fallen through or somebody has been really rude to me on, social media or anything like that, I'm gonna throw myself a mini pity party, but then I will dress up, put on a little bit of makeup, and then I'll remember who I am, and
Absolutely.
the
As I
day
said,
changes.
you're signaling your brain, right? That it's
Yeah.
a new day. It's your day
Yeah,
and you will spend it the way you want to. And I think it just uh, also kind of uh, makes you forget what happened yesterday because
exactly.
yeah, so I think that's fantastic.
And do you feel like in Dubai, because of the climate here, because of the weather here, we have so much, advantages for dressing up the way we do because it's summertime all year round and we don't have to worry about a lot of
Oh, yeah,
layers
absolutely. So, you can look fantastic all year
all
round.
year round. I love that.
That's a great advantage here.
Does it get very, very cold in India? Like that you need layering and big jackets? Because I'm sure
So,
in the
yes, in
UK
certain
it would
parts
have.
of India,
Yeah,
I've spent my life in Mumbai,
yeah.
which is a warm city.
Okay,
So, we don't really have winter. So, again, we enjoy summer clothes all through the year.
love that.
But there are certain places up north that do get quite cold.
That's amazing. Now, if there were people that are watching this podcast that wanted styling help, how can they reach out to you?
Through you?
Amazing. So I will actually put Sonali's contact information in the show notes if you're interested to revamp your wardrobe or get brand new styling advice. And if you don't know what your style is, she can definitely help you right in time for spring.
Thank you so much.
Is there any other message you would like to give to our viewers about how they can start today by making little steps?
As I said, just let every day be a new day. Get up, get ready, and just go for it.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really
Thank you,
appreciate your
Salva.
presence. And for all of you viewers, if you liked any things, disliked any things, please share with us in the comments and we'll share all the details on how you can contact Sonali. Remember to get up, dress up, and show up every day.